Today we're going to have a video of clarity over the words assumed consent, perceived consent, active consent, and why I don't personally teach them. This is not meant to be some sort of video where I prove I'm right. I'm going to teach like I always do, from my heart, from my instincts, from my knowledge, and from my gut. This is not something that I'm doing to prove or get or try to do anything. This is how I teach. And I do it so everyone can be as safe as they can be. So I have to do it unapologetically. So let's get to it. And understand this is one of those videos where we have notes and kind of receipts for it. So let's get into it, shall we? So assumed consent, worst thing I could teach. This is now empowering people to just assume they have consent. It is not something we're going to teach on this channel, and I think it's horrifically bad for any conversation where we have consent. As a matter of fact, I have stood up and said that consent should be informed. So let's start there. What is consent and how do we properly get it in the BDSM lifestyle? So, as a matter of fact, here we go. I'm going to do something for you all. So this is the BDSM survey, by the way, created 7 years ago, and it's sold out in 1 year. And since then, we've also had the Desire Index, which you can see right here. So today, I'm sold out of this. This is it. This is like a copy I have. I'm not even sure I have a personal perfect copy. That's actually got a ding in it. It is what it is. Sometimes you create things and forget to store them for yourself. These two books, so this is your very starting point of any dynamic. This is a full, thorough thing. I want you to understand, play partners for me have to fill out paperwork. I've said it many times. This is part of that paperwork. It explains consent and all that. All of you, these two books, PDF, free. Go to letter R, U, letter U, just U, 1, the number 1, of OF, us, US. Dot space. Are you one of us? Dot space. You could also find this by going to kink for all dot site. KINK for all dot site. I will have that up. So once you've watched this video, it's already there. They're free. This is how passionate I am. I have sold those for $5 a piece, giving it to you for free. Because that's how passionate I am about, especially consent. So let's get into it. Consent. What is consent? Consent is permission. You can get that by using the acronym DIPER. Did I ask permission? Extensively with representation. Get the thumbs up before you ask for consent. So before you ask for consent, you got to ask for it. Did I ask? That's you literally saying, hey, can I do this? Extensively. Well, with BDSM, it's not just asking, but it's also going over the risk profile. What are the risks here? The information. And with representation is the questioning phase of it. Your partner has every right to go, well, how do you know how to do this? How extensive is your actual, for lack of a better term, training, more importantly, education and hands-on learning for what you want to do to me? And you're going to answer those questions. And if you can't answer those questions because you haven't done it and you're new, be honest. Never lie about your experience level. Don't count going to a munch as experience level. Hanging around with kinky people is not experience level. For example, I already had years of actual practical hands-on knowledge before I went to my first munch. I didn't go to my first munch until I was 20. I had years and years of experience. Going to munches and classes made all that experiences better. I understood more. I got an online education as well. So I was ready to play because I took the energy and the time. Not because I sat in a munch, but because I went to educational classes, I looked things up, and I had hands-on. I made a ton of mistakes in the beginning, learning the ropes. As a matter of fact, more of the ropes I've learned has been in the last 10 years, technically. The rest I learned by myself. I'm dyslexic. I had trouble. I know how to do quick ties very well. I know how to do many other ties. And this is not a gloat fest. I'm saying it took me time, but I can explain that experience, and that's what you're responsible for. So once you've got that and you've answered all the questions, only then can you ask permission, because then it becomes informed, consent. So you have to inform the person and then you get consent. Consent stands alone. We need to empower the word consent. Consent is giving, especially in our lifestyle, you're giving informed, consent. You have been informed and you consented. Consent should be the powerful word. It is revocable at all times. Consent is never permanent. There always needs to be a way, using a safe word, using a safe action, to suspend consent for check-ins. And there is no human being who signs a contract, and contracts are awful, that ever becomes property that does not have a say. That is consent. When you give consent, you have been informed of the risks, of exactly what's going to happen, exactly the outcome you're trying to get with them. Use the new acronym, needs, expectations, and wants with your partner to build something or to build an ongoing dynamic. Fill out the BDSM survey. I have other stuff coming out. Paperwork, my friends, that isn't contracts, but are blueprints. They are the blueprints to your dynamic. And we're going to talk about some other stuff. But I needed you to know, period, end of story, that's what consent is. Let's stop calling it enthusiastic, and we're going to go over the other three we started with right now. And we're going to clear the air. Consent should never be at all assumed. We're just going to throw that out. You want to have the debate about it? You're going to find me uninterested in the debate about that. Putting the word assumed next to consent already tells me that's a red flag. End of story, red flag. I can't stress this enough. In America especially, we have problems with consent. And using words like assumed adds to that problem. And I'm trying to end the problem with consent. I've even made a book called The Vanilla Base for vanilla people to fuck around and find out culture, which, by the way, is where the next two things come from. I want you to understand I did a deep dive, and I can go further in another video if you guys want, but I want you to understand that active consent and passive consent come from actual college campuses and a California law. There's a history there that does not take into account our lifestyle, which is way trickier and way more communication driven. I don't think communicative is the right one. That sounds like a community thing, but you get what I'm saying. I'm running out of time. It's only a 10-minute video. I cannot stress to you enough, ladies and gentlemen and kinksters, that these words all lead to gray area. And we learned that shades of gray is a bad thing in our lifestyle, haven't we? And yet here we are, borrowing from vanilla, adding to things that we don't need added to. This is how I'm teaching it. This is because any shades cause people to get harmed in this lifestyle. So why do I hate passive consent? Well, understand everything I teach, I know someone may later Google. And this is a generation, before you come down to me, Rob, how could you use AI? The modern generation only uses quick AI overviews. They don't read further. Passive consent, also known as opt-out consent, is a method of obtaining consent where individuals are assumed to have agreed to participate in something unless they explicitly stated otherwise. All right, we're going to need a part two. Hold on. So there's going to have to be a part two of this video. There's so much to talk about. So this is now a two-parter officially. So here we go. You just catch that? Did you catch what it said? This is the everything is yes until someone says no. No. Everything is a no unless negotiated. Do you see the problem with and you have to do this, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I have to do this as an educator. I have to understand what I'm teaching, so I have to go look it up. And I don't go deep for everything at first because I want to see what the people who are going to Google this. Well, is Rob right? Shit, let's Google it. Oh, no, this isn't what Rob said. The AI overview says this. We're in a generational moment where they are not going further. The millennials did the headlines. All right? The new Gen Xers and everyone underneath them goes to Google. Here comes the AI overview. Oh, it's ChatGPT. It must be wonderful. Notice what it said. It is assumed everything is a yes. What are we doing here? Why are we opening a door for confusion? No, thank you. Not on my channel. Passive consent, it opens the door to the shades of gray. We're going to get the part two to you right away. We'll see you in the part 2.